Hello everyone, and welcome to my first review of 2022, which is also my 100th Nintendo Switch review. It seems only right that this review be of the Nintendo 64 and Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pak, since N64 games were the first games I reviewed when I started this channel. So what's offered with this expansion pack? Well, on top of everything else included in the regular plan, the expansion pack adds select Nintendo 64 classics that you can now play on the go for free, including Mario Kart 64, Paper Mario, Star Fox 64, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, and coming very soon, my favorite game of all time, Banjo-Kazooie! I must admit, this edition made me really excited. The ability to not only play this classic on a newer Nintendo system, but also play it on the go is a dream come true for me. I'll be sure to do a first look at the Switch version the day it comes out. But as a reviewer, I can't let my Banjo bias blind me. So what other pros and cons does this service have? Well, first of all, I tested multiple games on this service to see how well they played compared to their original 90s cartridges. I played Star Fox, Mario Kart, Paper Mario, Yoshi's Story, Mario Tennis, Ocarina of Time, and Super Mario 64. I paid close attention to Zelda because I remember that game coming under fire for having latency issues with the buttons on the NSO version that the N64 and even Wii Virtual Console versions didn't have. I did see slight latency with Zelda, but only by about half a second. It honestly wasn't that bad. And the other games I played performed even better. So overall the gameplay is pretty smooth, and it's really cool that you can now play multiplayer games online with friends. It's a great thing since most of us millennials live pretty far from our childhood friends now. There's also a good selection of games, but like I said before, more games would make this pack more appealing, especially if we could get some more classics made by Rareware and other third-party companies that weren't offered on the Virtual Console instead of just the more predictable games by Nintendo. It does seem like Nintendo wants to add to the library over time, so that is good news. There's also a good selection of Genesis games included, but I'm not one of those people who ever made a big deal about the Genesis, so to me that doesn't help much for the appeal. It also includes free access to the Animal Crossing DLC, which is great for Animal Crossing fans. I am not one of them. Please don't sue me. So there are some good things to this service, but it has three main problems as well, and two problems lead to the third. To start off, there's no matchmaking in online multiplayer, so anytime you want to play online, it has to be with users in your friends list. I think Nintendo missed part of the appeal of online multiplayer by leaving out matchmaking. I guess Nintendo did this because back in the day you could only play these games with friends, but that's because online multiplayer barely existed in the industry in the 90s. It's 2022 now, you can include matchmaking with online. Because of this, I wasn't able to actually test online multiplayer, so I don't know if it's still as laggy as one video I'd found would suggest. But I have little reason to believe that this issue has been fixed. For the next problem, some of you might remember when I reviewed the Nintendo Switch Online service when it launched back in 2018. To summarize, I pointed out more negatives than positives that the service had. Well, a big problem with the expansion pack is that Nintendo still hasn't fixed any of those problems. There are still friend codes, and the app on your phone is still a piece of crap. This says to me that Nintendo has still not acknowledged where they have gone wrong with the service, which leads me to the final problem: the cost. I had said that adding N64 games to the service would make its annual $20 price tag worth it. Unfortunately, this expansion pack increases its price from $20 to $50. What the fuck? This means Nintendo thinks they're willing to pay that increase in price just for more content, like the premium plan of a streaming service like Netflix or something. That is too high of a price hike for what Nintendo is offering, especially since they haven't improved the service. Nintendo, your competitors have given you the exact blueprint on how to make a great paid online service. Take more notes from your competitors, and then maybe this price point will be fair. So in closing, Nintendo is on the cusp of something great with this, but they need to add and improve a lot more to justify the asking price. On one hand, I'd say wait and see if Nintendo finally gets the hint to lower the price, but on the other hand, I'd say it's more important that Nintendo improves the service. Add matchmaking, make sure online multiplayer doesn't lag, get rid of friend codes, and please, for the love of Mario, trash that voice chat app. In the meantime, for you folks watching, just get the basic plan so you can at least still play your Switch games online. But while I have the service, I might as well review some more N64 titles that I haven't covered yet, so tune in throughout this year as I review those and other Switch games. See you all next time!